Interest? Look at the article. What is science fiction?
Science fiction is the genre of speculative fiction that typically deals with imaginary and futuristic concepts such as advanced science and technology, space exploration, time travel, parallel universes, and extraterrestrial life. It has been called the literature of ideas and often explores the potential consequences of scientific, social, and technological innovations. The science fiction genre dates back from the second century, a true history written by Syrian satirist Lucian is thought to be the first sci-fi history which explored other universes, extraterrestrial and extraterrestrial life forms.
What about some characters?
Some common characteristics of science fiction are the time travel, the teleportation, the mind powers, alien extraterrestrial life, and robots.
What are the characteristics? What are the difference with science fiction?
The difference are science fiction is a genre based on imagined future science or technological advance. Fantasy is a genre that uses supernatural elements as a main plot element, theme or setting. Science fiction has it based in science. Fantasy is not based on science or reality. Science fiction describes improbably possibility. Fantasy describes possibly impossibility. Science fiction deals with science concepts. Fantasy deals with imaginary concepts.
This part of the article talks about a man called Ray Bradbury. Who is this man?
Was an American writer. Was born in 20. In 1943, he felt was a job and the new oil and devoted himself to writing full time, publishing numerous short stories and various media. Until in 1950, what the upload of Martial Chronics, his rigid literary fame began.
Our story begins with Ed Whitwer entering to the Precops building.
Hello, my name is Anderton, John Anderton. I'm the creator and head of Precrime, a corporation that prevents crimes to be committed by citizens.
Hello, my name is Ed Whitwer.
Did you have much trouble finding the builder?
No trouble. I have quite a few ideas of my own about the way Procrime is run.
How is it run? I should like to know.
Not badly, in fact, quite well.
Okay, as I understand it, you are going to be my assistant only retrain.
That's my understanding too.
Which may be this year, or next year, or 10 years from now. It's purely my decision because I'm funded per crime.
Of course.
I merely wanted to get things straight.
From the start, you are the boss. What you say goes. Would you care to show me the organization? I'd like to familiarize myself with the general routine as soon as possible.
You are acquainted with the theory of crime. Of course, I presume we can't take that for granted.
I have the information publicly available. With the aid of your precoc mutants, you've boldly and successfully abolished the post-crime punitive system.
Whitwer.
I didn't realize you were so.
Deformed and retarded, but I am a talented creator.
Of course, of course.
I can see quite far into the future. I see a quite limited span. 1 week or two ahead, at the very most. Sometimes the data is worthless or simply not relevant.
Oh, yes, I understand. When was the last time an actual murder was committed?
5 years ago,
How did it happen?
the criminal escaped our terms. We had his name. In fact, we had all the details of the crime, including the victim's name. We knew the exact moment, the location of the planned act of violence. But in spite of us, he was able to carry it out. After all, we can get all of them.
One murder in 5 years. Quite an impressive record. Something to be proud of. Well, I have to leave. I see you in a while.
This is for you, Mr. Anderton.
What is this? Leopold Kaplan? No, no, I'm not a killer. What is this? Are you kidding me?
I never make mistakes.
Where is the second car? The second car!
I don't have it. That is part of the system.
After hearing the horrible news, he decided to run away and look for his wife, the beautiful Lisa, and then they went to visit their friend Leopold.
Hello, Anderton. I was waiting for you. You are here to kill me, right? No, we won't kill you. We just want to talk. If you don't kill me, it means that system that you created doesn't work.
It was a minority report. It works.
I'm going to compare it to a majority report. I have all the evidence to destroy your system. Your case symbolizes the unjust arrest of countless individuals, so they can see the living proof. You and me together, the killer and the victim, standing side by side, exposing the sinister fraud which the police have been operating.
What are you waiting for? Kill him, or he will destroy the system.
You fully comprehend what I'm going to say. The exposure will have considerable repercussions. It may cause the Senate of reconsider the basic validity of the pre-crime system. And if I kill you, the system will continue, and Whitworth will be the boss.
The most important symbol it could be the peacocks because there are three mutants that can predict the future, thus helping police stop a crime. Imprisoned by wiring and clouds, the three peacocks lack free will and autonomy, passively relaying precognitive information without understanding. The most important theme of the Minority Report is the security because the pre-crime system eliminates all major crimes and thus eradicates suffering and makes society safer. Anderton uses the peacock's foresight to know who will commit a crime, and on the basis of this data, the pre-crime officers preemptively apprehend and detain the future criminals.
I like the story, it's interesting, but I don't like a lot the characters and they don't catch me. The science fiction
It's very interesting, and I love films like Matrix or Back to the Future.
No, because the vocabulary was difficult and a bit boring, and I don't understand the story. I don't like science fiction a lot because I like more fantasy. For example, Harry Potter, the best saga, more or less like comedy. For example, Ted.
I like the story because it is compelling and interesting. And I don't like science fiction very much because I prefer other genres like action or horror movies or books.
No, because I don't like these stories, but I prefer the horror stories. Yes, because things happen that in the real life will never exist.
I didn't like it because the story is really slow and didn't got me, and I think it wasn't really interesting. I like science fiction because you can find interesting stories like Back to the Future, but I prefer other genres like action or fantasy.
Yes, I like the story. I thought the book was very good. Although at the beginning I had a little trouble understanding it, but at the ending was very unexpected. Yes, I like science fiction, but my favorite genre is action. However, I must admit that this one is quite interesting.
I love the story because it's so interesting and original. I don't like so much science fiction because sometimes it's a bit scary and complicated. I prefer comedy.
I don't like the story because I prefer another type of story. For example, I love mystery and police story. I like science fiction because my favorite movie is Mission Impossible, is which about science fiction.
No, I didn't like the story because I don't like reading. Also, I prefer reading a bike or watching TV with my family. And I like science fiction because I like Back to the Future. But I prefer comedies, for example, Grown Ups.